Muthama, thank you for speaking to us. And I'm sure Kenyans are keen to hear from you what you've been up to since you left, quote-unquote, active politics in 2017.
Thank you for inviting me for the interview. Let me answer you by saying I've never left active politics. What I did was to display a culture of democracy. I wanted to send a message to Kenyans to say that if you find in leadership things are not moving, it's not a must you die there.
Is that what you found? That things?
Yes, you should not die there trying to rectify those things forcefully. What was going on is, you see, I had promised people within the party leadership that there will be fair nomination. There will be fair nomination. So when certificates were being dished out now for nominations, the way I saw, I did not like it, because I saw people who did not participate in the nomination process being given nomination certificates.
This is Wiper Party.
That's Wiper Party. And I had given my undertaking to members of the party that come what may, there will be fair nomination. So when that happened, although my certificate was ready and has already been written, I said I cannot take mine under these circumstances and then find no answers to give to the people
that you promised.
I promised they should stick to the party.
And I'll be coming back to party politics shortly, but I want to start you off at the national level. Recently, you made an interesting statement that caught the attention of many. I think it was at a burial in Machakos. You told President Uhuru Kenyatta to quit in 2022, to resist all forces that would compel him to cling to power. What forces are these that
May I say this? When I say those words, the following day, Taifa Leo printed a messenger write-up on the top page giving two different scenarios. Scenario one, you could find Museveni there, you found Mugabe there, you found Gabgo there, you found Nkurunziza there, and so on. The other side, you found President Kibaki, you found Kikwete, and you also found Obasanjo. And the question that Taifa Leo was putting is this: ni kundi gani Uhuru Kenyatta atahusishwa nalo baada ya muda wake wa miaka 10? That was the question. I had said that the Saturday before, and that came the following day. Now, this is what I said. I said this: President Kenyatta, if what is being said about BBI and the enforcement of this is to create a chance for you to succeed your own self, please, your name is big, the country Kenya is big. Decide now and don't ever allow temptations to win you. Quit when your time comes and ends. Be like Kibaki, and also be like Moi. When we create the 10 years leadership, Moi left. So what I'm telling President Kenyatta is leaders, and true leaders, are those who make painful decisions, sometimes against the advisors, those who advise them.
Speaking of advisors, David Murathe in a TV interview very recently said that if the constitution is changed, and if Jubilee Party has the majority in parliament, wouldn't it be automatic that the party leader, Uhuru, then becomes the prime minister? So for him, he doesn't see what you see. It's not a continuation of the presidency in his view.
It is because Murathe is one of those around the year leaders, and they don't tell them the truth. They don't advise them to do the truth. So what Murathe says is what has been said by many others. Even with Moi, some people tried to tell Moi when Kibaki won not to accept the victory of Kibaki. But because Moi had made a decision that Kenya is bigger than himself, he decided to accept the victory of President Kibaki. And with Uhuru, this is what I'm saying: Mr. President, God has given a chance to lead Kenyans for 10 years. Don't create a loophole that could be used by other bad characters who could have a chance of becoming the president.
Is that what you see is the driving force behind the BBI? Because you've hinted at it.
And I'm telling you, if this happens, There's no way that someone else now will will not try to amend the constitution. If Uhuru did it and they succeeded, then it will go on, and at the end of the day, we will have live President of the Republic of Kenya.
Have you read the BBI report? What are your thoughts on it?
Can I say something, my brother? There's nothing new. Absolutely nothing new. Everything that
is it fair to say that there are some new proposals within the document?
I'll tell you. When it comes to what touches on Kenyans' lives, there's absolutely new. The only thing that is new is the creation of the Prime Minister's position, Deputy Prime Minister's position. There's nothing else. When you talk about corruption, it is in the Constitution that was passed in 2010. If you talk on how judiciary should be governed, these issues are there. If you talk about on how people should be fair when they are serving the service public, they are there. I mean, there's nothing new. Or what we need now, and what President Uhuru Kenyatta needs to do, is to make sure that the Constitution is implemented correctly.
The 2010 Constitution.
2010 Constitution is not all other things.
When Honorable Raila Odinga says that the BBI, first of all, says that get ready, the referendum is a done deal, and BBI will liberate Kenyans from poverty, disease, and ignorance. What do you make of that? Can BBI actually do all that?
No, forget about even BBI doing all that. When you have an issue which you will take it and you are supposed to take it to the public to make decision, how do you come out and say, this is already a done deal? What do you mean? This is where the problem starts. The rain starts from there. It starts falling from there, that point. Because it is up to Kenyans to say, we have seen the document, and this is a done deal. So we have BBI. But if Raila says that, I'm happy Uhuru is not saying such words, although he seems to be part of the BBI, but at least Uhuru is giving it a chance. You know, is giving Kenyans a face to have time and a breathing space to decide on it. But the way Raila is putting it, and then giving also terms in the next, I don't know, 3 months or 6 months, there will be a referendum. You know, Kenya is not about 1 or 2 people. Kenya is about 45 million Kenyans. And we must respect the rights of every Kenyan, including the ones who are mama mbogas in the villages. They must be respected, and the Constitution must take care of them.
As a long-term lawmaker, do you see the possibility of a referendum in 6 months?
Now, you can take the time of gazetting the same. You can take the time of making all the preparations, working out the budget, seeking money from Treasury, the money which is not there. The country does not have that money to go on that exercise. So how do you see it taking place?
Is your problem, and tell me this briefly, is your problem with the content of the BBI document or the method of implementation? Musalia Mudavadi, for example, and Moses Wetangula, and you worked with them in NASA, they say they have a big problem with the way it's being implemented. It's almost as if they have concerns that it's been hijacked by one party.
Do you know?
Is that the same issue you have?
I have more than that. Now, if we go outside the arrangement of leadership that we have, president, deputy, and then cabinet secretary, and so on, then now we go out and create another powerful office, which is similar to the president's office.
You will increase the wage.
And then the demands are almost the same. Now tell me, are we increasing or we are reducing? We are increasing. And we are increasing beyond expectation, because the thieves we have on the other existing government now will also emanate from the other department of the Prime Minister's office. And now you can see the level now of competing who takes more, this side and this side. So that is one objection I have about this document.
There are some who are in political parties that were part of NASA that say that the separation of power, the sharing of executive power will reduce divisive elections. You saw what happened in 2017. You are at the forefront of that. Do you see that as a tangible
I participated
solution?
in coalition government with Wiper and PNU, and I participated in the Grand Coalition. Let me tell you openly, what President Kibaki went through, it's only that he was a gifted leader by God. God gave him leadership. God earmarked and picked Kibaki to take over from Moi because there was no other way. But what Kibaki went through is only God who knows. But I thank God because he managed to persevere.
Was that political infighting?
Serious political infightings. You know, decisions being put aside. The president says this, you know, in parliament there is the prime ministers, members of parliament, representatives and ministers. The government was divided. If Kibaki was leading with a word of, yes, we support you, Mr. President, what we achieved in 2007 to 2013 would have been 3/4 of what he said. In Africa, for us to take time and grow, we need that authoritative leadership coming from one person, but who is fair and understands and allows democracy to take place.
Okay. There are those who say that would be a quagmire, because when you say authoritative leader and then you're saying follow court orders, there are those who say authoritative leaders are allowed.
Authoritative leaders, people, they also misunderstand it.
Okay. I want to know your definition.
My definition of authoritative leader is when you sit down and say, thieves must be arrested. We must deal with corruption. Authoritative leaders is not to say, go and arrest so and so because he's challenging me.
So you're not saying dictators?
That is wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong.